This is America Weekend. I'm Mike Bennett. Greg Quinn is a naturalist and farmer, and in fact is responsible for bringing the black currants back to the U.S. market and grows black currants on his farm in the Hudson Valley, New York.
I'm Greg Quinn with this week's Notes from the Currant Farm. Last time we spoke about edible mushrooms, and while finding edible mushrooms is a great joy, just going out with one of the many mushroom field guides in your back pocket and learning to identify some of the thousands of mushrooms that populate the woods is equally fun. The otherworldly shapes of spikes, globes, and jelly, and colors from purple and crimson to electric pink and hot yellow will amaze you, even if you fall into the not easily amazed category. The mushrooms you find in the woods and fields are actually what's called the fruiting body of the actual fungus which is underground. Mushrooms are the rough equivalent of a fruit on a plant. Okay, so while I and many others love mushrooms, I'm aware that many don't. For those, the word fungus is just some disgusting, slimy thing that the world would be better off without. So bear with me for a moment while I talk about the other side of fungus. I'm not overstating the case by saying that the health of all forests in the world is directly related to a family of fungi called mycorrhizal. This is a huge class in the fungus family that performs a wonderful symbiotic relationship with all manner of plants, from grasses to trees. These fungi colonize the soil with their hyphae, the equivalent of roots, and then take up natural phosphorus and other trace minerals and inject these needed nutrients directly into the roots of the plants, making for a healthier and more disease-resistant ecosystem. Virtually every square inch of forest soil is populated with these fungi, and practically all forest and jungle plants depend on them. Okay, big deal, you say. Well, fungi really is a big deal. A single colony of one of the best-known edibles, Armillaria, or honey mushroom, has been found in Michigan covering 37 acres with an estimated weight of over 100 tons. And it may be 1,500 years old. Not big enough for you? Well, scientists in Washington state have reported a colony of another Armillaria covering over 2,200 acres and is at least 2,400 years old. And with the exception of the trembling aspen forests in Colorado, which are a huge group of interconnected trees, this fungus is the largest known living organism on the planet. North America boasts over 3,000 varieties of mushrooms, which are less than one-third of what have been discovered in the rest of the world. Of the estimated 1.5 million species of fungi, only 70,000 some odd have actually been named, and only 10,000 of these produce mushrooms. We're just beginning to discover the importance of this barely explored genome. But you're still not going to put mushrooms in your omelet? Well, you may not have to get the benefits. There is a relatively new species of fungus called Taxomyces, which produces the minute quantities of the potent anti-carcinogen Taxol, which is used to treat breast cancer. And another fungus found in the Congo duplicates the effect of insulin, but can be taken orally. And the multi-billion-dollar drug cyclosporine, which is used to help prevent rejection following transplant surgery, was also originally extracted from a fungus. So the next time you're in the woods and spot some alien-looking life form sprouting from a dead tree or poking up through the leaf litter, take a minute and observe that member of one of the most varied and important living organisms on Earth. For a free podcast of this and previous notes from the Currant Farm, go to currants.com. That's currants with an A.
And with our naturalist and farmer, Greg Quinn, who I always knew was a fun guy, I'm Mike Bennett, and you're listening to America Weekend.